This is a full story. Kitten wishes you all a happy and enjoyable story. My girlfriend secretly got herself a manicure. 10 fingers cost $299. I would have to work 10 hours without eating or drinking to earn that much money. To punish her for her materialism and greed, I broke up with her. A friend asked me, just like that you broke up, you don't regret it. I sneered, regret? How could I? If anyone should regret, it's her. Honestly, I didn't really want to break up with her. I just wanted to scare her a little, teach her a lesson. Just wait, within a week, she'll definitely come crying back to me. But a week later, she didn't come back. I started to feel a bit anxious. A friend asked me what I actually like about Haley. Honestly, I don't know. Before me, she had 3 boyfriends and lived with 2 of them. My friend said, don't you feel like you're getting someone else's leftovers? I didn't feel that way before, but now I really do feel like I've become the one picking up the pieces. Haley is an only child and both her parents are teachers. Teaching is a decent profession. The pay is low, but it offers stability. However, once you interact with them, you'll find that people in that field are very old-fashioned. Haley's parents insist that I must buy a house before marrying her. This confuses me. Are her parents wanting her to marry me, or are they essentially saying she must marry a house? To measure marriage by a house is a complete insult to me. So during these 5 years of dating Haley, I haven't thought about buying a house at all. The matter of marriage has been postponed again and again until now. Haley is 29 this year. Once a woman passes the age of 30, she is seen as leftover goods in the dating market, while men in their 30s are considered hot commodities. Recently, the company has been busy. I've been working overtime every day. My mood has not been good. When I got home in the evening, Haley prepared a huge spread of dishes for me. Speaking of cooking, I really should praise her. Haley doesn't earn a high salary, but she is very virtuous. A woman doesn't need to have a strong career ambition, but she must be capable at home, and this is one of the reasons I chose her over my ex. My ex-girlfriend, like me, came from the countryside. She was my first love, and we dated for 7 years. In my heart, my ex was more beautiful and had a better figure, but there's a downside to being too beautiful. They often neglect family. I broke up with my ex because her career ambition was too strong. She simply didn't have the time to care for the family, let alone take care of me and the kids in the future. But Haley is different. She doesn't have grand ambitions in her career. She originally sold cosmetics at a mall. Later, she said her boss gave her a hard time, so she quit her job. After resigning, Haley had nothing to do at home. She often fiddled with her social media account. She claimed to have over 100,000 followers, a concept I couldn't grasp. But seeing her put on makeup and shoot a couple of videos every day to gain so many followers, I figured it wasn't a big deal and thought I could do it too. Today's argument stemmed from her secretly getting her nails done. I returned home after work, and she had made a table full of my favorite dishes. I was ready to compliment her, but what she did next left me cold. She mysteriously held up her hands for me to see her nails. Rocky, do you think my new nails look good? I honestly couldn't see what was so great about them. Red and green, who knows if they'd be toxic when cooking. Previously, she had done a group buy online for 20 or 30 bucks, a few dozen bucks to make my girlfriend happy. I didn't say much about it, but today when she told me it cost $299, I was completely stunned. I thought I misheard her, but when she said it again, I felt insulted. She knew I didn't make much, working long hours just to earn that amount. Today, she didn't even blink, just went ahead and got her nails done. I was furious on the spot. Are you crazy spending so much on nails? Did you even consider how I feel? She was taken aback. Yeah, it's a bit expensive, but I used my own money. Hearing that, I was ready to explode. I had supported her for so long, and she dared to say it was her own money. Doesn't she know how much she earns in a month? Besides, she was unemployed, living off me, with not a penny coming in. I nearly shouted, all right, Haley, are you really separating your money from mine like that? Your money is my money, right? $299 for a manicure. I have to work 10 hours without eating or drinking to make that, while those construction workers need to work for 2 days. And the elderly lady collecting trash would take half a month gathering plastic bottles to earn that much. And you spent $299 on a bunch of red and green nonsense for your nails. You're seriously disappointing me. I can't understand how you've become so materialistic. You weren't like this before. Haley had little education, just a college diploma. I graduated from a prestigious university and was even a graduate student. In the past, when I explained things to her, she would listen intently, quietly absorbing my analysis of the pros and cons. But today, she astonishingly started to argue with me. I don't understand what's wrong with me getting my nails done. It's $299 and it's my own money that I earned. Yes, I'm not working right now, but I can make money through social media. As long as I take on advertisements, I can earn a lot. Other girls do nails worth $399, even $499. It's my birthday today. I just want to have my nails done for $299. Is that wrong? As she spoke, she started to cry. I stared at the table, which was set with even more abundant dishes than usual, in shock. I had completely forgotten that today was her birthday. After several days of overtime, I let it slip my mind. But now wasn't the time to comfort her. Spending $299 on a manicure was a fundamental mistake, and she was trying to convince me that making money on social media was easy. If money was that easy easy to earn, everyone would quit their jobs and dive into social media. I needed to make her realize her mistake at this moment. Otherwise, she would be getting $399, $499, or even more expensive things later on. I coldly replied, that still doesn't justify your spending $299 on a manicure. You look average, your body is average, everything about you is average. In this world, only I am willing to be good to you, and you think you can take on advertisements. Do you think you're a big star? Haley, I feel like you're too materialistic and we don't share the same values. Let's break up. I finished my sentence and she was indeed dumbfounded, her eyes wide open looking at me in disbelief. A wave of secret delight washed over me. You see, Haley is most afraid of me bringing up a breakup. I used to love saying it, and each time she'd cry and beg for reconciliation. Back then she was young and couldn't bear to be without me. Now she's 29, just lost her job, and the apartment is rented under my name. Because of me, her relationship with her family is soured. If we really break up, she'll be homeless. I dumped all the food she had made into the trash, and after I was done, I sat on the sofa smoking. She stood at the door, silent tears flowing, staring at me blankly. At times like this, I usually feel exhilarated, a thrill from having the upper hand, a feeling that's incomparable. I crossed my legs, waiting for her to apologize, but I waited for a long time, and she remained standing in place. All right, I'll give her credit for that. This time she actually held out for 30 minutes. I pretended to be indifferent, took out my phone to play a game, and intentionally said things to provoke her. Didn't you hear me say I want to break up? You're nothing compared to Mary, you know that. Her salary is several times yours, and she wouldn't spend $299 on a manicure because she knows how hard it is to make money. She's not as materialistic as you. City folks like you just worship money, chasing fame and profit. So superficial and hypocritical, it's utterly boring. Mary is my ex-girlfriend from the countryside. Bringing up Mary is like stabbing a knife into Haley's heart. She must regret it deeply now and wishes she could chop off all her freshly done nails. Just when things were at a standstill, I suddenly received a call from my brother. He invited me out for drinks. I had it on speakerphone. I can't go, I'm in a fight with Haley. Come on, how could you break up with Haley? You two are so good together, and you always make up in just a few minutes. This time it's serious, she's gone too far. What did our Haley do? Forget it, it's nothing, just trivial stuff. It was indeed trivial, but I wasn't going to let it slide. Women are like that, once they get a taste, they'll push their luck further. So I planned to give Haley the silent treatment, to let her truly realize her mistakes. I replied to my brother, okay, wait for me, I'll be right out, and I won't come back until I'm drunk. After hanging up, I walked past Haley, coldly avoiding eye contact. Just as I was about to step out the door, she suddenly grabbed my wrist. Are you serious this time? I looked up at her. She was still wearing her cooking apron, with no shoes on, looking disheveled, and her eyes were swollen from crying. I admit there was a moment when I felt soft-hearted, but as soon as I saw her nails, my anger flared. I shook off her hand. I'm serious. The moment I slammed the door behind me, I felt an exhilarating rush. Just thinking about how I was out there living it up while she was at home crying and picking up the pieces, waiting for me to come back drunk at night, only to serve me, made me feel truly satisfied. It was a sensation exclusive to those in power. This is what it means to be a man, mature, composed, and successful in his career. A man who has a firm grip on a woman. At a drinking gathering, my buddy asked if my breakup was real or just for show. I scoffed. What a joke, Haley can't live without me. Tony laughed. True, Haley is almost 30. If she breaks up with you, she'd just be leftover. After a few beers, Tony continued, Rocky, what do you even like about Haley? Honestly, she's pretty average in every aspect. Sure, she's an only child, but her parents are teachers, and they can't help you in your career. Her figure isn't great, it doesn't feel good touching her, and she's definitely not the type to have kids. I understood what Tony meant. Like me, he came from a rural background. He didn't have a degree as high as mine, but he got lucky landing a girlfriend whose family has a small leadership position in a hospital. Without hesitation, his father-in-law got him a stable job there. I downed another gulp of beer, feeling a tinge of bitterness rise inside me. There's no choice. We've been together for 5 years. There's bound to be some feelings. Tony flashed a mysterious smile. We have plenty of young and pretty girls at our hospital. Want me to introduce you to some? I shook my head. Not yet. I understood Tony had good intentions for me, but I still refused, even though Rocky may not be a good person. I won't make a fundamental mistake. I had decided as long as she sincerely apologized, promising never to spend recklessly again, I would forgive her and even reward her with a movie night. There was a film she had been wanting to see since its recent release, but the tickets were a bit pricey. I kept saying I would wait until I could find a pirated video to show her. This time I would give her a way out. She would definitely be moved to tears, and from then on she would be even more dependent on me. After a hearty meal, I settled the bill with Tony. I ordered a lot of barbecues in a vengeful manner, which cost $199, enough for her to do half a hand's worth of nails. I also added the intern Tony introduced to me on WeChat. I've said it before, I won't make principled mistakes, but adding a WeChat friend is still acceptable. When I got home, it was pitch dark. I have a good tolerance for alcohol, but I pretended to be drunk, and as soon as I entered the living room, I started to gag loudly. In the past at this time, Haley would be anxious, worried I might fall fall or hurt myself. But today, I purposely gagged loudly, making crashing sounds against the tables and chairs. The house remained eerily quiet. A strange feeling arose in my heart, so I simply turned on the light. The leftover food on the table, the soup spilt on the floor, had all been cleaned up. Quite perceptive of her. Haley must have realized her mistake, but for the sake of pride, was too embarrassed to admit it. I wobbled into the room, preparing to give her an opportunity to save face. Haley lay in bed, back to me. As usual, I leaned closer to her, ready to be affectionate. Today was her birthday, so being affectionate with her felt like a birthday gift. In 5 years together with Haley, I never gave her anything overly expensive. The first year I gave her a card I wrote myself. The second year, while on a business trip, I sent a business card. The third year, I cooked a meal myself. Even with these things, Haley still cried with emotion. I always say that feelings shouldn't be measured by material things or money. If you know how to speak, how to perform, even a little thoughtfulness can move a woman to tears. Haley's back view suddenly stirred up my desires. I kissed her neck from behind. She pushed me away sharply, saying, "We've broken up. Why are you still touching me? You should know that rejecting a man's advances is a serious matter. Didn't her mother teach her this since childhood?" I felt somewhat displeased. My interest vanished entirely, and I continued in line with her words. "Since we've broken up, why are you still at my place?" She hadn't left after I returned from drinking, which meant she couldn't bear to part with me. Now she was deliberately saying these things to provoke me. Women can be so stubborn with their words. According to Tony, a couple of slaps would make her obedient, but unfortunately I'm not the kind of man who hits women. You can rest assured, I'll leave first thing in the morning. Stubborn. That night, I didn't speak to her again. In a bed meant for two, we slept back to back. Early the next morning, Haley indeed pretended to start packing her things. I ignored her lying in bed playing on my phone. Be careful with the things you're moving. Don't take anything that doesn't belong to you. As I said this, I was contemplating how she would end this time. Soon the movers arrived. I sneered, "All right, Haley, spending big. Let's see where you can actually move. Master to Galaxy Apartment. Galaxy Apartment. What a joke. That's a high-end community here. It costs nearly $5,000 a month just for a single room." She even made up such a lie just to irritate me. I stood at the door with my hands in my pockets. "If you can just live there for the rest of your life." Sure. I choked on my own saliva, coughing vigorously for a moment. An hour later, Haley got into the moving truck and left. Honestly, seeing her back didn't evoke much feeling in me. Running away from home was something Haley had done many times. She's quite sensitive, and I often told her to get lost during our arguments. Every time she would cry and run out, but it wouldn't be long before she came back sulking. A $299 manicure wasn't enough for her to genuinely want to break up with me. It was merely a way to get back at me. In the evening, Tony asked me to drink again. "Are you still arguing with Haley?" "No, I broke up with her yesterday. She moved out because she was upset." Tony took a sip of his drink. "There are some things I don't know if I should say or not." "You can say it. Honestly, I haven't liked Haley for a while. I feel she's not worth you." I knew Tony didn't like Haley because she often whispered in my ear, telling me not to associate with him, saying he wasn't reliable. What a joke. Does she need to say anything about whether my brother is reliable? I know my brother well. I guess she was just jealous. After all, Tony's girlfriend is the dean's daughter. While she is just an ordinary woman, she must be afraid I would feel the gap. I nodded. That's not entirely true. Problems of the heart can't be balanced by status or position. Actually, when I suggested breaking up, I just wanted to scare her a bit, to teach her a lesson. After so many years together, I still have feelings for her. This kind of woman needs to be tamed. Once you tame her, she will stay by your side obediently. I have plenty of strength and means to deal with disobedient women, but she has moved out. What if this time Haley is serious? At those words, I paused. It was a perspective I had never considered, but thinking about it, Haley is already 29, past her prime for childbearing, and currently unemployed at home. While I just turned 30 tall and handsome, my career is steadily rising. I raised my eyebrows and took a sip, resting my chin on my hand. Impossible, she's just throwing a tantrum. After all, it was her birthday that day. Not only did I forget, but I also lost my temper at her. She cried from anger. Right now, it's just about her pride. Just wait and see. In less than a week, she'll definitely come back and beg for my forgiveness. With just a few casual words, I convinced Tony, "Rocky, you're amazing, truly a learned man." Tony raised his glass to me. Amidst our laughter, a beautiful girl suddenly ran over to greet us. "Tony, what are you doing here?" The girl speaking was Serena, the little girl Tony mentioned. Serena hasn't graduated yet. She's young, sweet, and incredibly obedient. The key is she isn't materialistic. Her family has some connections and a hospital abroad. She's a little rich kid. "Rocky, don't say I didn't save the good stuff for you." I recalled scrolling through her moments on social media last night when I couldn't sleep. With a small face and a big backside, her physique was miles better than Haley's. Seeing her in person today, I found she was even 3 points prettier than in her photos. After Tony's introduction, Serena greeted me sweetly. "Hello, Rocky." Her voice was soft and sweet, making my bones feel weak. I moved a chair aside. "What would you like to drink, little sister?" I hadn't intended to pursue anything with her, but little girls seem to be drawn to mature and sophisticated individuals. Constantly inching closer to me while calling out, "Rocky, Rocky." Halfway through our drinks, Tony said there was an emergency at the hospital. He hung up the phone and rushed off to the hospital. At the table, only Serena and I remained. After chatting a bit, I noticed her legs were brushing against mine under the table, up and down like a little cat scratching. We were both adults. I knew what she wanted, but I wasn't someone who took things lightly, especially since it was our first meeting, and the drinks on the table were already running low. We planned to finish our drinks and head home. Half an hour later, I took Serena back to my apartment. She was drunk and unable to answer questions after all. I couldn't just leave the young girl on the street, could I? Just as I was helping her into the lobby of my building, I spotted Haley. My inebriation sobered up instantly. There was a woman beside me, and I feared a misunderstanding could arise. Instinctively, I tried to hide, but Haley still noticed us. This time, Haley's indifference scared me. I felt like a child caught with a whip, hurriedly explaining, "This is Tony's colleague. She's drunk. She can't say a word. I'm taking her home first, then Tony will pick her up after work." Haley coldly responded with an "oh." She was there to pick up something. She had forgotten her ID when moving yesterday. I didn't hear her call, so she had to come in person. Haley glanced at me indifferently. "Last thing, stay away from Tony. Think wisely." I was terrified when she was silent, but once she spoke, I felt a sense of relief. It confirmed she still cared about me. If she didn't care, she wouldn't feel jealous of Tony's girlfriend, wouldn't feel inferior just because Tony's girlfriend was the dean's daughter. I said some heavy things yesterday, and here I was still harboring jealousy over Tony today. Telling me to stay away from Tony was nothing less than love. I echoed her words. "Got it. When are you moving back?" "Moving back? Why would I move back?" Haha, still sulking with me. At that moment, the drunk woman beside me woke up, pointing at Haley. "Rocky, who is she?" "Oh, just an ordinary friend." As I spoke, I stole glances at Haley's expression. I hoped to see her angry, hurt, or jealous, but it was frightening. Her face showed no reaction at all. Exiting the elevator, she walked straight ahead of us. Stopping at the door, she turned. "I cleared my fingerprints before I left yesterday morning." She cleared even her fingerprints. Very well, I admit I was annoyed. Opening the door, I stubbornly didn't let Haley in. "You probably shouldn't come in, right? Where's your ID? I'll go get it." I opened the drawer. Inside, along with Haley's ID, there were my stomach and blood pressure medications. The medicine in the cabinet was neatly arranged. Haley had left a note on the blood pressure medication. "Must take this every day. You must listen to the doctor's advice." There was also a note on the stomach medicine, written in small letters. "Remember to take the medicine before drinking. Take good care of your stomach. I know it's hard for you when socializing. My husband, I love you." I suddenly remembered. Without Haley's reminders, I hadn't taken my medicine during the past 2 days of drinking events. My stomach was starting to feel a bit uncomfortable. Haley used to remind me daily to take my medicine, and it had been a long time since my head had hurt. She would match my meals according to the nutrition chart, and my old stomach problem had nearly been cured. Looking back, Haley really took good care of me. As I grabbed her ID, I made a silent vow. As long as she softened up, I would forgive her immediately. "Here's your ID. Is there anything else you want me to get for you?" "Nothing else." She turned to leave. I couldn't help but call out to her. "Is it really so hard to apologize? Must it be this way? Making both sides unhappy? Just stop getting your nails done. If you won't do it anymore, then that's that. Why make trouble?" She looked at me in disbelief, as if looking at a fool. "Apologize? What have I done that requires an apology? You got the $299 manicure. Do you still think you did nothing wrong?" She scoffed. "I think the biggest mistake was knowing you." Haley never used foul language. This time she actually cursed at me. She finally revealed herself. I pointed at Serena slumped on the sofa. "Look at her. She didn't get her nails done. Her clothes and skirt are simple styles. And then look at you. You don't have a job, not a penny of income, yet you're still thinking about curling your hair, getting your nails done, putting on makeup, and posing for videos every day. I'm not saying this, but who exactly are you making those videos for? Don't you have any sense of it? Do you even know how those followers of yours came about?" She finally looked like she was about to cry. "I just wanted to earn some extra money, so we could buy a house and get married sooner." She nearly shouted that last sentence, but I found it insulting. Rocky never needed a woman's support. I smirked. "How do you think I believe that?" Haley looked very disappointed in me, but I didn't understand what she was disappointed about. Shouldn't I be the one feeling let down? Even though I didn't earn much, I still made a 5-figure income every month, with $1,500 for rent, $3,000 sent home, and $3,000 for food and commuting. I could still save over $4,000 a month, plus a year-end bonus. I didn't know what was making her anxious, and I had initially planned to buy a house after I turned 40. Wasn't it still early? All I could say was, the river flows east for 30 years, and then west for 30 years. Don't look down on the poor youth. I still wanted to say something, but Serena had unexpectedly come over from behind. "Rocky, why are you talking to this old woman?" After saying that, she pretended to panic and covered her mouth. Sorry, I wasn't thinking straight. What I meant was, why hasn't Rocky's friend left yet? I'm a little hot. I want to take a shower, but I can't find the bathroom. I wanted to push her away, but I saw Haley's determined gaze. I held on to the soft Serena. "Wait until I'm done. I'll take you." Haley turned and walked toward the elevator. Even though we had broken up, I couldn't immediately flirt with another woman. I chased after her. Don't misunderstand, I'm not interested in her at all. She's She's Tony's colleague. I won't get involved with her. You know my character. I can't take advantage of someone in need. Haley curled her lips. Actually, you could have sent her to a hotel, then returned home yourself. But you didn't do that. Instead, you brought her home, giving you two a chance to be alone. Don't you know why? And the girl doesn't seem that drunk. She looks pretty sober. Her words caught me off guard. Once you're losing in an argument, you have to regain your momentum. That's how you intimidate the other party. In the animal kingdom, males do the same to assert dominance over females. This tactic is quite effective. I immediately raised my voice. Right, you're absolutely right. You think of me this way. There's nothing I can do about it. Anyway, you broke up with me. Believe what you want. I see a woman and I like her. I'm just a creature of my lower instincts. That's the kind of person I am. Let's not meet again. Was all Haley left me with. After that, I ended up entangled with Serena. I don't even know how it started. I've forgotten. In short, I felt dizzy. This wasn't my fault. After all, I'm a principled person. I was just provoked by Haley. I needed to teach her a lesson, to let her know that I wasn't completely dependent on her. I moved from the balcony to the sofa, then to the kitchen, and finally to the bathroom with Serena. I didn't let her on my bed. That bed was still meant for Haley. The next day, as soon as Tony saw me, he flashed a mischievous smile. He said I had to take responsibility for sleeping with that girl. I handed him a cigarette and said, it's meaningless to talk about such things between brothers. We're all adults here. It was mutual consent. What's there to take responsibility for besides that girl hasn't said anything yet? For the next few days, I didn't get in touch with Serena. It felt as if she had vanished from my life, as if nothing had happened that day. And it was just a dream I had. That night, I went to bed with a slight headache. I opened the drawer to find my blood pressure medication, only to discover it was all gone. That's when I realized Haley had moved out 7 days ago. With a pounding headache and a churning stomach, I had no choice but to call Haley. The phone rang several times, but she didn't answer. I sent her a voice message. What appeared before me was a big red exclamation mark. I shot up from the bed, but the sudden movement combined with my high blood pressure made my head spin even more. She had actually blocked me. I felt a wave of panic rise within me. I hurriedly downloaded the app. I entered her social media account and found her. Sure enough, she was live streaming. It had been a few days since I saw Haley, and she seemed to have become more beautiful. She was putting on makeup in front of the camera. Hey everyone, today we're learning how to do a makeup look inspired by Juan. Make sure to pay attention to the eyeshadow technique. It was my first time entering her live stream, and I didn't expect there to be so many people. Within just a few minutes, gift notifications started rolling in. The top gift was named, Haley is my wife. The second was Cute Haley. The third was Haley's #1 fan. There were several nicknames all named after Haley. I was furious. I had long suspected that the money she made from social media was not clean. The list was filled with her lovers. They were all such green tea boys, choosing such disgusting names. Haley is my wife. I am her husband. I clicked on those accounts, just about to lose my mind, but I was stunned when I saw the account information. They were all girls. Girls watching girls live streams, sending gifts to girls. Girls even called each other wives, called each other cuties. I was baffled. This world is too surreal. I stepped back, then clicked into Haley's account again. I found that she posted updates every day. Sometimes it was photos, sometimes videos. Scrolling back to older posts, she shared some daily moments. Made 1,000 different nutritious breakfasts for my boyfriend. Breakfast check-in day 35. My stomach isn't great, so every morning at 5 she would wake up, picking vegetables, washing them, chopping them, frying eggs, toasting bread. Every day she made breakfast for me with different styles. The eggs had to be fully cooked and the congee had to include millet. Yet I was never satisfied, always nitpicking. I don't eat runny eggs. Do you know there's bacteria in them? Why do you cook eggplant with tomatoes? The taste is so strange. You women just love sweets. Aren't you afraid of diabetes? Why do you girls love drinking milk tea and coffee? Can't you just drink plain water? In the picture, even though she lives in a small house, there's a light in her eyes. Sometimes she even sneaks photos of me. My boyfriend isn't very wealthy, but he's funny. He can be a bit masculine, but he's very caring. He loves playing games, but he doesn't dare watch horror movies. He's not perfect, but having him makes me feel perfect. We don't have a house or a car, but as long as we love each other, I believe everything will come together. Another vibrant day. You can do it, Haley. She updates her social media every day. While I've never seen this side of her, I can only see her holding her phone, taking pictures all day, sitting in front of a computer editing videos, not going out to look for a job. She seems to be neglecting her duties, escaping reality, being lazy. It turns out, I never truly understood her. Thinking about this, a wave of guilt washed over me. I sent her a message in the live chat. Haley, it's Rocky. I want to talk to you. Could you please take me off your blacklist? I'm sorry I was wrong last time. I shouldn't have prevented you from doing your nails. From now on, go ahead. You can do whatever you want, as long as, but I couldn't finish that last sentence. Her chat room moderator kicked me out of the room. I continued to send her private messages, only to discover she had blocked me. All the videos she posted before were still up. I firmly believe she hasn't let go. She still loves me. All of this is just her way of punishing me. The Galaxy apartments weren't very big. I had advanced my salary. gallery. I bought flowers and went to her community entrance. I wanted to apologize to her in person. I waited for a long time. Finally, I saw her figure. I was overjoyed and rushed over with the flowers. But just as I took a couple of steps forward, someone stopped me. "Sir, outsiders are not allowed inside our apartments." "I'm not an outsider. I'm the boyfriend of one of your residents." "Hello, could you please tell me which building and unit you are referring to?" I didn't know her unit number. I waved to Haley. "Haley, I'm here. They won't let me in." We hadn't seen each other for a few days. Haley seemed to have become much more beautiful. She no longer appeared timid, looking confident and lovely. But she still hadn't spoken. Then a few burly men rushed out. The leader of them, looking fierce, saw me and punched me in the face. "So it's you who slept with my sister, right?" I felt blood running from my nose. "Are you insane?" The security guard gave Haley a difficult look. "Miss Haley, do you know him?" Haley took off her sunglasses. There was a glimmer in her eyes, but it seemed not to belong to me anymore. Haley glanced at me coldly and then put her sunglasses back on. "Sorry, I don't know him." After saying that, she turned and walked away. I was held by a group of muscular men and dragged into a van. "You guys are sick abducting someone in broad daylight. Is there no law in this world?" The leader scoffed. "Law? You slept with my sister and still bring up law." It took me a while to understand the situation. It turned out his sister was Serena. The big man pulled out a report. "My sister is pregnant now, 100000, and this will be over. Otherwise, I'll accuse you of rape. I only slept with her last week. She's 2 months pregnant. What does that have to do with me?" Big brother, he admits to the rape." I was furious. Does mutual consent count as rape? He pulled out another report. "Torn thigh, scratch marks on the arms, 1 broken rib. My sister is covered in injuries. What else could it be if not rape? Even if things escalated that day, there was no way a rib would be broken." This report was fake, and perhaps the pregnancy test report was also fake. I glanced at the hospital and doctor names on the report. After seeing it, I was covered in cold sweat. It shockingly stated the name. Tony. I finally understand. I was tricked by a scam. What a huge setup it was. And there I was foolishly diving right in. I recalled what Haley said before she left me. "Stay away from Tony. Such a glaring flaw, so many loopholes." She had warned me many times, but I selfishly thought Haley was just jealous of Tony's girlfriend. Tony didn't even have a girlfriend. He had been lying to me. He wasn't working in a legitimate hospital. The actual place was a black clinic. "You guys are dreaming. I'm going to call the police." But they pulled out the video from the day it happened. In the video, I looked desperate, like a starving wild boar. They even had my family's address, my parents' phone numbers, the contact information of my school, and my company's address. If I called the police, the old Zhang family would have lost all its face. I might not even win in court. They had witnesses and evidence. And I really did sleep with Serena. "I beg you, I really don't have 100,000. You're 30 years old. How could you not have even 100,000? I cried. "I really don't have 100,000. After checking my bank balance, the leader said, "Don't you have a girlfriend living in the Galaxy apartment? All the people living there are wealthy. Borrow it from her." Right, Haley definitely won't turn a blind eye. Thinking of this, I quickly used their phone to call Haley. She finally answered. I held back my sobs. "Haley, it's me. I'm Rocky. I'm in a bit of trouble and need money. Can you lend me 80,000 for now? I'll pay you back in a few days." There was silence on her end, but suddenly I heard laughter. "Rocky, you really deserve this." I was stunned to hear that. "What do you mean? Why do I deserve this? Do you already know?" Haley chuckled. "What are you talking about? I don't understand." But that day I saw the cameras on the woman. "I wanted to warn you, but you told me to get lost." I hesitated for a long time. Even thought maybe you wouldn't do such a thing. After all, you just met her. But in the end, hey, you're really dirty. Rocky, this time you brought it upon yourself. You should pay for your mistakes. Please don't contact me again. Our paths will no longer cross. I collapsed. Why is it me to blame? Isn't the starting point of all this because of her? Wasn't it you who pushed me into this? If you hadn't gone to get your nails done behind my back, none of this would have happened. All of this didn't need to happen. We were doing just fine. I can't believe you stopped loving me in just a week. I slept with that woman. Haven't you lived with a few ex-boyfriends? We're even now. 80,000 is too much. Can you lend me 70,000 or 60,000 each? With a loud thud, the call was disconnected. My heart went cold along with it. In the end, I borrowed 80,000 from Serena's so-called brother, a high-interest loan. 2 months later, the 80,000 had ballooned to 150,000. I began to feel disoriented. How did my life suddenly become like this? At 5 years old, I had memorized ancient tales. When the girls were jumping rope, I recited the myths of Panga creating the world, Kwafu chasing the sun, and Hui shooting the sun fluently. At 8, I could understand movies. While the girls were still watching My Little Pony, I had watched The Godfather 7 times. From a young age, I was taught that women can hold up half the sky and that men are or that sky. Suddenly, I began to feel that women were just optional objects. They clung to men like daughter vines, like jellyfish. They had no brains. When faced with problems, they could only cry and whimper. I felt this way about my ex-girlfriends, about Haley, and about the women around me. I simply could not see their shining points. I could only belittle and objectify them. I held myself in high regard, believing I was inherently nobler than them. So even if I achieved nothing, I still felt like the chosen one. Being poor now does not mean I will always be poor. Poverty is temporary, but gender is forever. I thought about this for a long time. Eventually, I realized where my mysterious confidence came from. It stemmed from my genes. That extra chromosome that men have over women is the last pride etched into my bones. When I owed $2 million to loan sharks, I severed ties with my family. I also lost my job. Finally, I got in touch with Tony. He told me he had been scammed too, and that Serena was just a fraudster, but he had a new way to make money. And after a year, I could pay off all my debts. It would happen quickly. He sent me a plane ticket, with Myanmar as the destination, in Southeast Asia. Before I left, I opened Haley's live stream one last time. A year ago, she said she had only a few 100,000 followers, but now her followers had surpassed 2 million. I had no idea how much she could earn from a single ad, but I knew it was a chasm I would never cross. She was still enthusiastic about showing off her life. With Rocky, delicious food, cooking, flower arranging, and fashion. Everything she did was not to please others, but to make herself happy. It turned out that after leaving me, she could live so freely. After she deleted the last video about me, I boarded the plane to Myanmar. It was hot and humid there, with the sea breeze always carrying a fishy scent. In the journey ahead, there would be no one like her. She was filled with thoughts of me, and when she spoke, it was sweet. She said, "Hi Rocky, why do you call yourself Rocky? That name is not good. Everything needs to be self-reliant. How exhausting it is. Life should be about mutual support, not just one person struggling alone. Follow your sister. You won't have to worry about food and drink. In the future, I'll earn money to support you." Little Rocky. 2 days ago, Tony, who wanted to escape, was locked in a water cell. His legs were also broken. Before he left, he asked me, "Rocky, what is the biggest regret of your life?" My biggest regret is that day I argued with Haley over the 299 nail art. If I could go back to that day, I would praise her. "Wife, your nail art looks amazing. Do it, give me a try next time. Let's go for the 699. Oh alas and woe. In my memories, the pain on my body seemed to vanish. I slowly closed my eyes. Haley, in this life and the next. Let's never meet again. The end. If you like Kitten's story, please follow and like it. Updated every morning at 9 a.m.